What's up, everybody? I'm here. I got Dark Souls, picked it up this morning. Finally getting a chance to sit down and play it. And so let's get this playthrough started. I'm going to start off with a quick introduction here of the game, showing off the characters and the customizations of the game, along with a playthrough of the tutorial, all in the introduction 2 or 3 part little video series here. Hoping on 2, but here we go. Looks fairly similar to Demon Souls if you've ever played that before. You got the name, you got your gender, your class, and all your stats down there. Let's start off, we're going to select male, female, or both, who knows. There's no both though, I guess, so bummer, right? So let's start off with the class. We got 10 playable classes here, obviously right there. Warrior, Knight, Wanderer, Thief, Bandit, Hunter, Sorcerer, Pyromancer, Cleric, and Deprived. Oh, take a breath. Alright, we're going to start off with the Warrior here, which is what we were already looking at. As you see, his stats over there on the left side. Pretty decent stats. He's got 11 vitality, so his health is pretty good for a low-level character. The strength and dexterity are also pretty good to be able to deal that damage against those enemies. And has a good amount of stamina at 12. No ability to buy or train magic or miracles yet, for his faith and attunement are both below 10. So you're going to want to level that up if you want magic or miracles. Next up we have our Knight with 14 vitality. His health is way up there, and with that armor on, he's got a ton of hit points along with armor, so he can take the damage. That's what I'm trying to say. He can take damage, more damage than the other classes can. Or more hits, that is. He's got 10 attunement and 11 faith, so he can learn a spell and a miracle right out of the gates whenever that becomes available. Rest of their stats are pretty much around the average of 10, so he is a well-balanced character to play as, and a nice starting melee character if you want to aim that way. Next up we have the Wanderer, my personal favorite of a class. My first playthrough on Demon Souls is a Wanderer, and most likely on this game will also be a Wanderer. I especially like the way they look there with the hood and the nice weapon. Vitality at 10, so it's a little lower vitality than the previous 2 we've looked at, but it's still good. Everything else is averaged out. Dexterity is at 14, and that's purely for the fact that this weapon, the scimitar he has in his right hand there, is dexterity based on damage, so the higher dexterity, the more damage. A nice starting weapon for this class based on that build right there. The rest of it is good. He can learn a spell, but no miracles. But with the weak armor, you're going to want to not get hit. Next up we have our Thief. A lower vitality than the rest, only at 9, so low health, weak armor, very susceptible to be taking high damage if you get hit by enemies. But his dexterity is extremely high, and he has that dagger, which he can do work with. Don't be turned off because he has a low vitality and leather cloth armor and just a dagger. He can do work with that dagger, so if you want to be a up-close, personal, backstabbing people, stealthy type character, go with a Thief. He also gets a thing called the Master Key, I believe it is, which unlocks low-level secret areas that house hidden treasures and hidden passageways. So that is also worth noting. Next up, the Bandit. He has a sick-ass shield right there with a giant spider on it and a nice battle axe, and kind of looks sort of like a Hun if you kind of look at him that way. Good vitality, good strength and endurance. He's going to be up in that battle, keeping his stamina up and beating on enemies with that high strength with that massive axe he has, with also 10 faith, so he can learn a miracle right out of the gates as well. Next up we have our Hunter. This is our bow character from the beginning. You can see he has a sword there, he has the arrows on his back. He does have a sword along with a bow, so you can start enemies at long range by hitting them with the bow. Couple shots, have them charge at you with lower health and take a swing and they're dead. Just watch your arrow consumption. They do only start with 30 arrows from the beginning, so you're going to want to get more arrows and buy them when they become available. I don't know how far into the game you can buy arrows, so just be wary of that fact that you do start with only 30 arrows. And again, his stats are pretty much along the lines of every other class. Some stuff a little higher, obviously dexterity because he has the bow. Now we hit our magic classes with first up the Sorcerer, who I believe has Soul Arrow right there. I think that's what that thing in the middle there, 30 out of 30. You can use Soul 30 times. That's how his mana consumption, I believe it goes by mana. Well, there is no mana, it's just a spell-based thing actually. So, that being known, he can use it 30 times. I'm sure you can upgrade it. Other than that, his vitality is super low. He's got cloth armor, he's got a warped shield right there, and so you're probably going to want to level up his strength and endurance to get it a little higher so he can use that dagger and whatever other weapon you get when you run out of Soul Arrow, which you most likely will, but his intelligence and attunement is pretty high for that spell casting class. Next up we have a Pyromancer who starts at the lowest level for soul level at level 1, giving you the broadest range to level him up how you want to, which is a nice thing to do. He's got 8 face, so not a miracle caster at the beginning, but his attunement and intelligence are fairly low for a caster, but he does have the fire attacks. He starts with 8 there. So use them wisely. They do deal more damage than the rest, so just know that. Fire attacks are usually a bit stronger, but he does have this axe in his hand, and his strength is at 12 and his endurance at 11, so he can do work with the melee weapon. Shield doesn't look too effective. It is broken, so you're going to want to get a new shield as soon as possible. Next up we have our Cleric. This is our priest type character. As you can tell, he kind of looks like that. Carrying a nice looking mace and a nice looking shield. He's got his cloth robes on, and he has 14 faith, for he is the miracle caster. He has a 5 miracles down there to cast, and I assume that's probably a heal to start off with, just to let you know. Other than that, he does have his strength high as well, so he can beat on enemies with that mace. It's just what he's going to have to do early on until you teach him a spell. I don't think he has any spells yet, so you're going to have to learn a spell as soon as possible with him if you want to be strictly caster class. Lastly, we have what I'm going to call our expert players class. This is our class, the Deprived. No armor, no really weapons. You got a wooden club and a wooden plank shield crudely put together. This is not for the noobs at the game, so all you're just picking on this game and not play Demon Souls or weren't too good at Demon Souls, you know, play through the game once or twice and then come back to this class. If you want a nice challenge, if you play Demon Souls and you're an expert at it, pick up this class, play at them. You'll have a nice fun challenge. As you see, all the stats start at 11, soul level 6. Everything's right there to level up off 11. Very, very good class to start out of for your expert playthrough. I'm going to pick a wand here to look at this other stuff. Gift, we have these gifts. I don't know if they change between classes. Let's check real quick. Whoops, nope, not going to do that. They do not change between classes, so they're just, I think it's what you could start out with. As you see, this is restores HP. You got fire bombs, I don't know what that is. Binoculars to see areas that are far off. A pendant that does nothing. A master key, that's what the thief starts off, and I guess you can choose that, and I might choose that for my playthrough. You got a ring that recovers HP slowly if you wanted a slow regeneration of your health, and no obvious effect on that thing. I'm choosing the master key for this. And now we have our physique. We can choose our body type. Average, slim, very slim, large. You get the idea here. We got different body types. I like the fact they added this. I'm going to choose slim. We have our face, all the different types of faces here. Just going to run through them real quickly here. There are options to adjust off that. We have our hair as well. Not many options of hair, but they are there for you to choose. I wish they had a shaved head. That would look pretty good. I think I'm going to go short and color hair. You have all the basic colors. I'm just going to put dark blue for now. I'll customize it later. So now if you hit the customize option here, now this is where you can random your character off. You can do random face types off each face type, so you see. And if you want to reset it, just go back and you can reset it. Obviously, you have a maturity here. You can make them look older, younger, more masculine, more feminine. Ugh, say that word, I can't. You can make them weaker or stronger, more muscles in the face. Hair, you can change it there, and you change hair color. And then you can also reset. If you hit initialize, that'll reset the character. Customize. This is the whole customizations. Obviously, you got to change everything from the face, you know, forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, mouth, jaw. Everything has sliders. Hair color, you can change it some crazy hair colors. I don't know, like a purple. I don't know if you want purple. A smoky blue, that looks pretty cool. From that, you can change eye colors, and you can also change skin colors if you want to make your guy orangish. You know, you can make him reddish like that. You can make run around the red guy. Don't make him angry, but that's green. He's not green. So that is your very basic customizations for your characters and class selections here. Next video we will start our playthrough next video with the tutorial stage, and we'll get through that, and then we will start our real playthrough after the tutorial stage. We're playing through that. I don't know if you have an option to play it or not like in Demon Souls, but I'll say yes anyway, just to get the extra souls you do get from it and the extra items you also get from it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.